Hello, and welcome to Public Speaking Extraordinaire, your crash course in going from a shy newbie to becoming a highly confident and motivating speaker in your own rights. First and foremost, thanks for choosing this course, and I also salute you for taking a serious interest in your self-improvement. The ability to speak confidently and influence people around you is a very essential skill to achieve success in any career you're in. Whether you are an entrepreneur in business or working your way up the corporate ladder, the ability to speak and communicate your message across to anyone will unlock an abundance of opportunities that have never been previously available to you. Did you know that public speaking is not only the most lucrative career but also among the highest demanded skill? If you would study the great leaders that have their names published in the history books, all the way up to the modern leaders, religious gurus, highly successful entrepreneurs, salespeople, trainers, coaches, managers, and even teachers, they have one important skill in common: the ability to speak and convey their message effectively to the masses. There are plenty of benefits in excelling in the area of public speaking. For starters, you build your self-confidence. This is a priceless self-asset that no one can rob from you and can only give other people permission to influence your self-confidence. I cannot stress how much more important your self-esteem is and how valuable it is to you when you carry yourself in front of other people, friends, or new faces. If you are an entrepreneur of any kind just starting out, the ability to persuade investors, convey your message effectively to your prospects, and striking joint venture deals and partnerships are critical skills that public speaking can offer. This is why the minority of businesses in any field are the giants of the industry. Their leaders are great speakers and motivators to both their employees and their customers. Where the average businesses fail or produce mediocre results, these industry giants are the movers and shakers. Look at Donald Trump, the real estate billionaire and TV celebrity. There's also multi-millionaire and best-selling author of Secrets of Millionaire Minds, T. Harv Eker, not forgetting people like Oprah Winfrey, Jay Abraham, and many more. Public speaking isn't only important to business people and religious leaders. Even to the people who choose the work life of an employee or being self-employed, employing the skill to speak effectively is not exceptional. Notice that CEOs of companies and managers who climb ranks faster are often those who have the ability to communicate effectively with others and tie their team of workers together through their social and speaking skills. In a survey taken back in the early 20th century, 90% of the employers rate the ability to speak and communicate as the number one criteria for employees looking for a job. Ironically, academic qualifications came in 6th to 8th place in hierarchy of importance. And regardless of which career you are in, which organization you belong to, if you want to take charge and especially be a leader and motivator in your own rights, all the more you must hone your public speaking skills. Basically, if you want people around you to listen to you and take you seriously, focus on becoming a better public speaker. A popular misconception about public speaking is that this skill is reserved only for those who climb the stage to speak. You will see that this skill can be very well applied in just almost every other areas of life, including casual conversations. Of course, sticking to the topic of this course, you will learn how to develop your public speaking skills and go from newbie level to extraordinary status, 3 record days, even if you have no stage experience or consider yourself an introvert. The most common problem people face when it comes to speaking in front of an audience is what we call stage fright. Interestingly enough, according to the Book of Lists, the fear of public speaking ranks number 1 to the majority of survey takers. The fear of public speaking outranks the fear of death and the fear of disease. Experts analyze that the reason many people feel fearful when it comes to speaking in public is because of anticipation of emotional pain and psychological stress. Fear is defined as anticipation of pain, so naturally many people imagine the worst case scenarios: being humiliated, subject to potential embarrassing moments, and how other people would think of them negatively. If you know anything about worry, then you will know that most of us, what we worry usually doesn't happen. However, inasmuch as the logical mind can debate so, the symptoms of fear give way to the emotional side: sweaty palms, racing heartbeat, and of course, visualizing the worst case scenarios. Hence, the untrained speaker experiences uncomfortable sensations because fear is a psychological condition which manifests itself physically. I do not underestimate the problems that stage fright can bring. as this has prevented many people from overcoming this challenge and building their self-esteem. In fact, I can relate to this problem, and so have many public speaking experts when they started out on their first presentation of any kind. This is why this course kickstarts with a simple 6-step process on how you can eliminate the stage fright syndrome. If you have never spoken on stage before, have little experience doing presentations, or have yet to overcome the anxiety of speaking in front of even small groups of people, there is no better time than now to overcome your personal barrier. Now I will reveal the 6 simple steps to help you overcome your fear of speaking on stage. Step 1. Remember the main message. It is that simple. Unfortunately, many speakers overlook this simple element. For this, you have to look at the structure of your presentation. This will be discussed in detail in session 2. In short, a high-impact presentation revolves around one core message. This core message is the reason of conception for your presentation or speech. If you are delivering a presentation that does not have clear goals or trying to achieve too many objectives in the single speech, you will naturally experience anxiety and brain farts, a state where your mind goes blank temporarily. So remember the main message of your speech or presentation. You don't need to write this on paper or be reminded, as long as you can summarize the goal of your speech in one short sentence and elaborate your speech from there. Also, to conquer a popular but unfound fear, focus on your audience and not how you perform or wonder how they will think of you. When your presentation is audience-centered throughout your speech, you will find that the sensation of fear and fright will wear off gradually. The truth is, people are really not concerned about your voice. They are more interested in the message you want to convey to them. Also, how you perceive yourself is more important than how others perceive you. If you have a lowly perception of yourself, then expect everyone else to catch the poor vibes quickly and view you in the same manner. Likewise, if you adopt a positive outlook on yourself and carry yourself confidently up and on the stage, your positive energy can be clearly seen and your audience will catch it just as fast. Step 2. The more you know your material, the more confident you will be, and the fear of forgetting what to say next will dissipate gradually. Thus, the second step is also your baby step in overcoming the fear of stage fright, or rather, the fear of talking to more than one person. Start with practicing your short speech with 2 friends whom you trust or feel comfortable with. Make sure they are supportive and someone you can rely on for constructive feedback. The speech doesn't have to be long, and neither does it have to be highly professional, formal, or intellectual. A simple speech on current events is enough to get this simple exercise started. Consider this a fitness program for your public speaking persona. When you become comfortable with speaking to 2 people, raise the bar. Talk to groups of 4 over a cup of coffee. Again, the speech does not have to be highly intellectual, formal, or professional. Contrary to popular opinion, when people think of public speaking, they think of formal speeches they often hear in a Toastmaster session or a high-level debate between 2 oppositions. The truth cannot get any further from that. Public speaking is just that, conveying your message effectively to the masses, and you don't have to be highly formal in the way you talk or necessarily the way you dress. Again, it's worth repeating that you should focus on your audience, whether the group is small or big. Assess your feelings of anxiety and strengthen in areas that need improvement, such as voice and body language. Always remember that your speech doesn't have to be 100% perfect. It will naturally improve as you make more short speeches and have confidence that you are learning and able. Step 3. Accept that people make mistakes. Everyone does. You see, no one is born perfect. Good public speakers aren't born. They're trained, they're made. If you goof up in your speeches during rehearsals or even live on stage, don't be hard on yourself. And I especially warn you not to punish yourself. We are designed to make mistakes and learn from them. Unfortunately, many people give up after the first attempt, which is usually what they consider an embarrassing moment. So they punish themselves by avoiding the opportunity to try again, and then they never grow as a person. Filling your mind with negative thoughts and self-limiting doubts is another form of self-punishment, which adds salt to the wounds. Also, speakers with low self-esteem often make disclaimers at the beginning of their speech, making statements such as, "I'm not a trained speaker," "I'm not an expert," and so on. Even if you think this is true, I want you to refrain from making such disclaimers, because even though you are striving for people to expect less from you, in actual fact, people will have a poorer perception on you automatically. This will affect your credibility status long term. This leads to the 4th step. Step 4. Replace negative thoughts about yourself with words of encouragement. I want to reveal to you that people in general have short-term memories. When surveyed, many people who listed fear of public speaking as their greatest fear revealed that they are afraid that other people will remember their humiliating moments for a long time to come. In reality, these embarrassing moments are often forgotten by the masses and even so, yield little significance for discussion throughout time. If you want proof, try to remember what was published on the front pages of the daily newspapers 1 year ago. I rest my case. Just like how the seeds of a tree determine the fruits or end product, our inside has a significant impact on our outside. Negative self-talk not only drains your energy, it can also demotivate you as our actions or outside are influenced by our subconscious mind. To overcome this, practice replacing subconscious thoughts like, I can't do this, and the crowd will laugh at me with phrases like, I feel energetic, I am excited, I am prepared and focused. The attitude will follow once you embrace positive self-talk. As the famous saying goes, fake it till you make it. Accept that for any skill that has multiple levels of mastery, learning curves are always involved. In order to improve, you have to take risks. However, consider this. What is the worst that can ever happen to you if you goof up your speech, if for any reason at all? Think of your speech as an opportunity to offer benefits and convey information to your audience. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. That did not deter him one bit. The best part is, he expected to fail. Can you imagine if he gave up before he reached the 1000th time? We would all be living in the dark now, or another brilliant individual would have succeeded where Thomas did not, and his name would have taken over his in the history books. So remind yourself constantly that if you overcome your phobia of speaking in public, speaking on stage, or speaking to groups of people, you will not only conquer one of your greatest fears that has been holding you back for years, I guarantee you will experience an euphoria of breakthrough in other aspects of your life. Step 5. Let's deal with your exterior display of stage fright that is giving you away in front of everyone. Convert physical symptoms of fear into positive energy. Not only can we only convert our thoughts, but also our physical behavior as well. For example, think of the pounding of your heart and racing pulse as an adrenaline rush. This will allow you to feel alert and energetic. If you feel your legs shaking, walking around will help you convey confidence and positive energy. In the event that you will actually blank out, tell a story about a funny thing that happened to you recently. This will give you time to sort yourself out and also brighten the mood of the place. Also, a dry mouth or throat can be easily remedied with a sip of warm water or tea. Be warned that cold drinks constrict the throat, so avoid cold beverages. Final step 6. There is no better way to boost your self-confidence instantly than recalling a familiar face in the crowd. It can be your family member, close friend, spouse, or whoever you trust and supports you. Scanning the floor for a few key people helps too. You will notice that regardless of which audience you speak to, there will always be a few people on the floor who have motivating facial expressions or body language. You can detect them in their nods, smiles, or displays of interest. While you should be giving your even attention to the floor, look for a few key people you identify who have motivating body languages or facial expressions, encouraging you to give a better presentation. All in all, speaking to an audience is no different from your day-to-day interaction with people. The only difference is the formality of presentation. Speaking on stage, in the hall, or in front of the room. Essentially, in a conversation, you are conveying a message, persuading someone, or just providing information to the person you are talking to. Realizing this will help you feel much more confident and powerful on stage. When talking to someone or a group of friends, try to visualize yourself on top of a stage, and in this case, they're below the stage while you try and convey your message to them. You would be surprised how they react to you in real life will also be how they react to you on stage. To exemplify this, try incorporating elements of your public speaking to your everyday conversations and see how they will respond. Also, what other people think of you is not as important as how you think of yourself. Last but not least, public speaking is not reserved only for extroverts. Even introverts stand just as much of a chance to become shining speaking superstars. In the next session, I talk about how you can craft your own high-impact presentation.